If you are one of the millions of Americans who think our so-called elite is very stupid, hold on to your hat. It is worse than you think. A few days ago, we were treated to Joe Biden's chief economist struggling desperately to explain the most basic facts about government finance in an interview for an upcoming documentary called Finding the Money. The bureaucrat in question, one Jared Bernstein, is the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, which is basically the Jedi Council, the brain trust that advises the White House how to manipulate and distort, or how to manage, the $25 trillion U.S. economy. Bernstein kicks off confidently asserting that, quote, the U.S. government cannot go bankrupt because we print our own money. This would be news to the hundreds of countries that have gone bankrupt, defaulting on trillions of dollars in debt despite very enthusiastically printing their own money. Indeed, this very moment, 5 countries are in default, including Lebanon, Belarus, Ghana, and Sri Lanka. Dozens more are swirling the drain. It gets worse. The interviewer then asked Bernstein, if the government prints its own money, why do they borrow? Why not just print it all? The answer is bad, like scary bad. After fumbling for about 15 seconds, he finally manages to form a coherent sentence: how the government issues bonds to lend money. This is, of course, not how debt works. Debt is for borrowing money, not lending it. Normal people know this. Biden's chief economist apparently does not. That little gem is followed by Bernstein collapsing into a garbled series of, wait, is that what they do? Looks to the ceiling, looks to the floor, finally gives up saying, quote, I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. That is a literal quote. Now, given how bad Team Biden has blown the economy, you might not be surprised that his chief economist is an ideological diversity hire who apparently knows less about debt than your average dog walker. But the problem is Bernstein is just one of many Ph.D. morons who populate the Biden administration. What unites them is a cult-like belief in a crank inflationist theory known as MMT, or Modern Monetary Theory. In short, MMT says the government should spend as much as humanly possible, no matter what on, and then when inflation takes off, they can just hike taxes to drain it out of the people. Partly because they're socialists who think without evidence that government spending is productive, and partly because they're actually looking for an excuse to hike taxes to punish the wrong people. Lead MMTer Stephanie Kelton has literally advocated this in interviews, saying the quiet part out loud. The end result is inflation paired with a wholesale transfer of resources and wealth from the people to the government. Everything from steel, construction workers, disposable income, all drained away to our wise overlords who apparently don't know what a bond is. Beyond the breathtaking irresponsibility of inflation and punitive taxation as actual policy goals, the concern is that for these socialists, the poverty is literally the goal, even as they make the rounds on CNN gaslighting the frog while the water boils away. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. There was a time when Americans could rest easy that however bad government screws things up, at least it's trying to do the right thing, trying to minimize chaos, trying to make us more prosperous. It increasingly seems that is no longer the case, that chaos is the goal, the poverty is the goal, all led by morons. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.